There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of purpose from them. So welcome my life with African.
I live for health.
Master.
Les paris sont avec you, I can't ask it if you been you. C'est ma chenille, tina ke ase ma yamu. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa muni, emu aye yo.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
Ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena napagi ya tumale, esta tiki, ena napagi ya tosi wako maya tumale,
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. To work with my life with African. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, Sanu to Bakulu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa.
So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending where you are. I want to welcome you to SKTV. Today we are honored, we have the privilege to play host to one of the brightest of our country. That's Fanta Kamara MBA, which is, she is the spokesperson for the CMC, the Citizens Movement for Change. She'll be here today to discuss pretty much everything that has to do with Liberia, Liberian politics, social issues, anything that you want to know about Liberia. She will be here to discuss all of those things, but primarily she will be here to discuss the CMC, to discuss the government's budget, and some of the behavior of the government, and also the response of the CMC to the government's budget. So we are here to discuss pretty much everything today. And you know, with Fanta, there's no bad day, there's no quiet moment. She always, ready and able to respond to everything that has to do with Liberia. So I want to welcome all of you. And I want to encourage all of you to share the show. We are waiting to get connected on the radio. I think Melbourne is in the back. Once he gets connected, then definitely we will bring the guests on and then we'll get the show started. In the meantime, we will play the CMC son, since there's going to be a CMC person today. That's why we await Melbourne to get connected.
Tired of you. Our mothers crying. The people deserve better. The youth's future is fading. Too many of them leaving. Too many of them dying. They cannot wait any longer. The change they need is now. The change they need is here. election. No, 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 no. Talk and do. The people rejoicing. Talk and do. The drums are beating loudly. Talk and do. Talk and do. Talk and do. CMC. Talk and do. We're breaking all the barriers. Change is calling. Change is coming. Talk and do. Can you feel it? It's in the air. Can you feel it in the air? Can you feel it in the air? See it. Talk and do. Musability. Talk and do. CMC. 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 We talk and do today. Not tomorrow. Not waiting for election. Our time is now, 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 now. We're doing it now, 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 now. We talk and do, 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 do. Look and do, talk and do. Not just words, it's what we mean. When we say the citizens movement for change, for the people, by the people, we talk and do. That's what we mean. We talk and do, 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 do. We talk and do. Hope will be restored, faith will be restored, love will be restored, store, store, store. We talk and do. Just step aside, step aside, step aside, side, side, side. Watch us lead, watch us lead, watch us lead, 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 lead. Watch the people grow, watch them grow, watch them grow, 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 grow. Watch them flourish. We talk and do, 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 do. Talk and do. Musability, musability, musability. Talk and do. CMC, CMC, CMC. We talk and do today, not tomorrow, not waiting for election. We talk and do.
All right. Once again, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. Melbourne, can you hear me?
Well, yes, I'm getting you. Not too set, but again, yes, I'm getting you loud and clear. I don't know whether you are also getting me.
Are you all set and ready to go?
Yeah, we are almost there. Are you sure?
Okay,
We're
so
almost-
let me take you for a second. Once you get set, you can come back on, okay?
Wonderful. So again, folks, good evening to all of you, those of you who are watching and listening to us via the radio. I want to say a pleasant good evening to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, based on your location. And for matter of fact, today is Wednesday, having to be the 12th of the 11th month, and the year remain the same, 2025. Yes, indeed, Mr. Kane, we are good to go. At least, even though, well, I don't know how come we are appearing like. Anyway, that's good. Sometimes you gotta confuse the people. But again, that's good. But anyway,
What are you saying?
I'm saying like we are.
Oh no, they changed the system. So what happened? I will tell you. I will tell you in the back. You have to
because
close. You have to close the one on the side, the little one. Just click that one. We will close.
I
Yeah,
see
but
why.
I got it on this side. I will control it from here. No worries.
No problem. No problem. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
All
By
right,
the way,
folks, I
I
want to say thank you to all of you. I want to say thank you, Liberia. Good morning, Liberia. Good afternoon, good evening to all our followers, well-wishers, and fans across the globe. I want to say thank you very much for joining SKTV today, as always. SKTV is the best in Liberia and all over the world when it comes to information, news that you can use. I want to say thank you to all of you. Again, we are on Truth FM 96.1. We are covering about 13 counties as we speak to you right now. And once we get connected to Truth FM in Secretary, we'll be covering the entire country, including some part of articles in Guinea, so that, right now, SKTV remains the most covered platform in Liberia because we go everywhere around the world and through social media platforms. And in Liberia, we are on several radio stations that actually enable us to go across the hinterland of the Republic of Liberia. I want to say thank you for all of you for joining us. We want to encourage you to share the show. We want to encourage you to share the show, everybody. If you are watching us on YouTube, we want to say thank you. If you are watching us on Instagram, we want to also say thank you. And those of you watching us live on Facebook, we want to also welcome you. And the best of all, those of you watching us and following us on the radio station, because it's on the radio we have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people following us. So we want to welcome all of you to the show today. Today we are privileged and honored to have Miss Fanta Kamara MBA with us. She is a spokesperson for the Citizens Movement for Change, CMC. So we'll be discussing pretty much today. Melbourne, get your questions ready, get everything ready, as she is here to answer all of your concerns and questions that you may have regarding CMC, regarding her ambition or political, future, anything you want to talk about. She's ready and able to respond to all of your concerns and questions. On that note, we will, waste no time. We will bring the guest on so we can get into the conversation right away. Let's see here.
Hello.
I don't know what's going on. Just like the camera. Okay. Now I think we're good to go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, but the video kind of like
Is it spotty?
Video kind of frozen. It's not moving. Hopefully, maybe it can go off. Okay, I think it's moving now.
Okay.
But can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, but something wrong with the video. You want to go off and come back on?
Sure, let me do that.
Yeah, please.
Well, that's good. I think maybe she has anything on her.
Encourage
Maybe
your people to share the show. Everybody share the show. You share the show. The conversation today is not going to be easy. I can't lie to you. Yeah, you share the show. Everybody share the show. So yeah, we'll take a minute while we wait the guest to get back on. So we'll be sharing the show. And okay, let's see. Okay, I think she's here. I think much better. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Mabel, is everything okay at your end?
Yeah, I'm okay. For now, everything is okay from my end. I think we are good to go. Are you sure?
Hello, Mabon. How are you?
I'm okay, Sefanta. Let me say good evening to you and everything from your end.
Alhamdulillah, we say Alhamdulillah. Thank God we're alive.
Great. Welcome. I guess you've been around here. If not, I think this is your first debut, or maybe because I think this is my first time interacting with you. But again, let me use this time to say welcome to the SKTV. If you've been with us, well, then thank you. If this is your first time, thank you so much for coming. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How is everything with you on my end?
Wonderful. Liberia, we are doing good, apart from some of the political trending happening, the Wahala back home and so forth, with some of the later news also coming from the MCC scorecard and so forth. Well, I think the country is good to go. But yeah.
Maybe just to a point, I just want to first of all welcome Ms. Kamara on the platform, the SKTV platform, and also a lot of people may know her, but some of our followers and viewers across the globe may not know who Fanta Kamara is. I want to give her the opportunity to briefly introduce herself so that people will know exactly who we have the privilege to have on here today. So yes, Fanta Kamara MBA. Who is Fanta Kamara?
Oh wow! So I'm the worst person when it comes to talking about themselves. So all you need to know about Fanta Kamara is deeply in love with Liberia, and she has Liberia at heart, and she is a Liberian girl who will fight for Liberia to the end.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of background of Fanta Kamara. Will you mind? If not, then we can just jump into the conversation.
I mean, I think that's at the core of it, right? I like, as I said, that truly defines who Fanta Kamara is. Of course, if you're looking for professional background, I am a technologist, cybersecurity, cloud computing. Um, I hold an MBA in international business, so very, very familiar with global and international affairs and what have you. I have been very, very privileged to be a servant to Liberia in various capacities in the waste management and also some consultation. And yeah, at the core of it, I'm just a Liberian girl from Garnersville.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, you know, Fanta, I want to welcome you to SKTV. This is your debut on SKTV,
Thank
and
you.
we are hoping that this will be a very rewarding experience for you, and which will encourage you to come back and again because SKTV, that's the best place anybody can go. Politicians, journalists, business people. When you come here, we treat you with utmost respect, and
Appreciate it.
our people here, our fans, just to let you know, we are professional people, and those people who are here to watching us, they are much more professional than some of us because they treat our guests with respect as well. So you can disagree on here, we can disagree. We can say, no, that's not true. We can say you lie, but we don't use certain words. Certain words are forbidden on this platform. So we don't come here. We're not like other platforms where people go and say anything or whatever they want to say to our guests. We don't do that. Guests, we don't do that. We don't actually micromanage people, but equally so want to make sure everybody carry themselves accordingly so that we can have a conducive environment where we can have conversation without being you know feeling somehow tormented or somehow disrespected. So I want to say thank you for coming to SKTV. So today we'll start with the CMC. Right now, CMC in less than a year. By the way, the questions I'm going to be asking today, I'm not going to be asking as a CMC person. I'm going to
Yeah.
be asking, like when I'm interviewing on ability here or any other CMC person, I use my position as a member, also host on the SKTV. I
Mhm.
will ask you some questions, that may sound very like, wow, Secretary asking me this question about CMC. I will do that because the people want to know. Some of
Yeah.
the questions we are asking are questions that that are lingering around, with other people that are not
Mhm.
CMC, that don't even support CMC, but they want to know. And
Yeah.
the answer to those questions could actually encourage some people to join. So, what is the CMC doing to actually be all over the place in less than a year? Everywhere you go, when you say CDC, you say CDC, the Unity Party, USA CMC, maybe for you call other political party. So what is the secret behind the rapid, growing of the CMC?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question because oftentimes it is the work of the CNC is very unfamiliar to the people. What I mean by that is that they haven't seen a politician or a political movement that is centered around the people and especially doing work before election. Usually is a lot of promises, very that turns out to be very empty promises. And the CMC, very centric and very core to what it stands for, is the citizens. And that's why it's the citizens movement for change. And therefore, the priority is to ensure complete transformation of the lives of the citizens of Liberia. And the way in which we've been able to demonstrate that is transforming communities, connecting roadways, and ensuring that whatever we do contributes to the bottom line, which is improving the socioeconomic status of the people of Liberia.
Hmm. Um, you know, uh, Yesterday, we watched and listened to the political leader of the CMC, um, talking about a version of the CMC, how CMC will have done this budget, and pointing to some of the flaws and misinformation, in the current budget presented by the Lebanon government. Why the CMC is actually coming forward to put forward an alternative budget. Somebody will say, but you are not in government yet. Why are you giving alternative budget? Why? Why CMC is doing that? Try to contrast what they have, what they will have done, as opposed to what the government has right now. Why is CMC doing that?
It's simple. If you have a disaster of a budget as what has been presented, that heavily favors the rich and continues to empower thieves, right? And frankly, mafia, who have transformed themselves into public servants. It is despicable, and therefore, any sensible person looking at that, especially any sensible leader as our political leader, will not just take a look at that and swallow it, right? You take a look at that and you provide an alternative, one that is actually sensible, one that actually gives back to the people, one that is actually citizen centric and not elite centric, which is the budget that has been put forward is. When you have a budget that prioritizes the cars of ministers and the legislative over the agriculture sector, like farmers, and making sure that there's food on every single Liberian table, then you are not just unserious, but you are truly a poor excuse for a government. And the alternative is absolutely required, because you can't just sit on the sideline and just criticize, right? That's the way of old politics. The new wave, which is what CMC is introducing, it's going to consist of very constructive discourse that is definitely not just going to criticize, but provide solutions. And as you saw yesterday, demonstrated or illustrated, I should say, our solutions when it comes to the budget is heavily people-centric, is heavily ensuring that agriculture becomes very much a center of the transformation that the people of Liberia are going to see. And instead of, say, allocating 151 million to security, which when you really look at it, is it truly security? So is it truly justice, right? Or is more, or they're just adding more money so they're able to siphon more money into their individual pockets? Why you have crime rates are skyrocketing, and people don't commit crime because there's crime to be committed. People commit crimes because they are hungry. Feed the people. You don't have to increase the security budget. You have to increase the agriculture budget. We continue to import things that we can grow. Our staple food is rice. We have arable land. It's not something that we are short of. Go around the country. Go in the interiors. You will find that Liberia is not short of land. What Liberia is short of, the vacuum that we currently have, is a sensible leadership. An administration who cares about the people and prioritizes the people. And not one who cares about the type of car that they drive or the type of house that they live in. So you don't expect, when we call ourselves the movement of the people, the citizens movement for change, to just criticize without providing an alternative solution that is absolutely people-centric. And we've been able to demonstrate that. So we're not waiting for when we assume power, which is absolutely going to happen. CMC is involved in agriculture projects today. CMC is involved in infrastructure projects today. CMC is involved in healthcare or medical projects today, to show you that we're not going to wait to implement these changes. We're implementing them today, because the people should not have to wait for services. They should be able to benefit from them today.
So, let's say an ordinary person, somebody living in Bangonima, Bapolu, somewhere there in my own town in Spain, how can you explain to them for them to be able to somehow know the difference between what was proposed by the government and the alternative presented by the CMC. How do you explain to them for them to understand in a layman term, to understand exactly, okay, this one is better than what the government is showing us? What are some of the key points that could that that we show that we say the CMC's alternative is kind of people centered as opposed to that of the government? How can a layman understand that? What are some of the key things that are actually that when you explain to a lay person who will understand, well, yeah, I think this is better than the other one.
Let me just pick one thing out that I think is very important, and is this notion of increasing taxes to generate revenue, because that's the bottom line. When you increase taxes, who pays for it? It's not the government, it's the people. So that soap, that rice, that oil, that consumer goods, that food product that the people are supposed to be buying at affordable prices, now they have to pay way more for it. Because let me tell you something, when you increase taxes on businesses, who do you think the business transferred that cost to? Did the business swallow the cost? Is the government saying that they're going to absorb the cost? They're not saying that. The business exists to make money. The business will transfer the cost to the consumer. Who are the consumers? The Liberian people. The CMC alternative to that is not increasing taxes, because that's not going to solve the problem. It's cutting waste. It's cutting misspending. It's looking at the various budgets that have been allocated to the various entities and say, look, we can reshuffle this budget so that it works more for the people. And we don't tax them to make things more expensive for them. So that's what I mean by alternatives. Right? Simply put. And let me put something else out there that I think is very important. You look at the debt today. The debt that is in the budget is 2.7 billion. Do you know who's paying for that debt? It's not the government, it's the Liberian people. Liberia currently, give or take, the population is around 5.6 million. Right? Give or take. Mabel, please keep me honest, like on that number, right? 5.6 million, 2.7 billion in debt. That is being serviced at 230 million annually. Every single Liberian, it's like saying every single Liberian owes $400+. The man-merited debt from the government. So why would man-merited have to pay $400? But if you split that 2.7 billion up across 5.6 million people, that's $400+ that Man Mary or Man Musu or Man Kema did not sign up for. Now they're all to foreign entities. Why do we continue to indebt ourselves, indebt the people of Liberia? When that money comes in, it's only circulated amongst them, among the mafia group. They have hijacked this country, and they have hijacked the socioeconomic status of the people of Liberia by making sure that the people are not empowered to feed themselves, to defend themselves, to take themselves to hospitals, to put their children in school. And what did they do in return? Every single Liberian owes the foreign government or a foreign entity $400. Let that set in. I didn't like I'm Liberian. I don't remember signing up for any debt or loan. Why do I owe $400? Why does my mayor owe $400? But yet you care about increasing the legislative salary. You care about increasing the president's salary. What does that do for the common people? Go to JFK today. Pregnant women sharing bed. pregnant women sharing one bed. Subhanallah.
Wow.
How, like, where do we live? What type of people are we? And the people should be enraged because they are the one feeling the impact. We put it in the budget to buy more cars for more than roads. More cars than roads to drive on. You go in some of their yards, they have 10,000 like different cars. But the average Liberian, the regular Liberian who cannot even afford a sustainable income because the unemployment rate has skyrocketed. So this is not a budget for the people, and it has been demonstrated.
Yeah, so I'll ask the question, then I'll go to me want to ask a question. Regarding this budget, we understand that there is $200 million that is donated by ArcelorMittal from Nima County. They're counting that as part of their revenue. But again, in reality, that is not revenue. That is a donation from a company that has been exploiting the country. And the worst of all, the people of that county, Nimba County, are benefiting nothing from the $200 million that have been given from the exploitation of their soil. Even though it belongs to all of Liberia, but at least those who are the primary victim of this exploitation is the people of Nimba County. And they are not getting anything out of it. How do you explain that? Is that even something that somebody should count on their budget, on their annual budget or donation?
That's not a donation. That's a bribe. Let's call it for what it is. It's a bribe. And you want to balance our entire future on a bribe by a company who has exploited Liberians for decades. ArcelorMittal has been in Liberia for more than 10, 20 years. Or for almost 20 years, I should say. And for a company, for $1 billion company, how many Liberians do they employ? They should employ thousands. When I say thousands, not 1,000, not 2,000. A minimum of 50 to 100,000 Liberians should be employed by ArcelorMittal. That's what you call the official term would be like corporate social responsibility. But because of the rampant exploitation that has persisted year over year, decade after decade, what do? They rob the palms of our very corrupt politicians. They put money in their pockets. Now, they want to take that money and make it seem like revenue for the country. Let's say even if it was a donation, you want to form the country's entire future, the way we operate, our operating budget, off of a donation. And this is the mindset we have to get away from. This mindset of always being beggars, of always being incompetent, of always being useless leaders. Look, it's one thing if you don't know. If you don't know, go open a book and read. But if you know or you pretend to know and you engage in these type of acts, it's wickedness. These politicians are evil. This government is evil. They are the devil because they worship the devil. A theory I've been working on, and this is something that's going to be shocking, but I want everyone, including you and your listeners, to truly think about this. Time after time again, we see politicians come and they give us the same old story. We'll do better. We'll do this for you. We'll do that for you. We'll fight against this company. And they get into power. When they get into power, what is the first thing that they do? That zeal, that energy that they had, it dies. Why does it die? We have to investigate that. Because certainly some of these people have bachelors. Some of them have master degrees. Some of them have years of experience in the areas in which they're in. So why does that will to do for the people die? You know why it dies? Because they're being blackmailed. And I think we must ask, who's blackmailing them? What type of societies are they part of? What type of perversion are they have they engaged themselves in? It's not a far thought. This is 2025. And things that we thought were so far from us as a people, as a civilization, are being uncovered today. The leaders that you see are so excited, they get into power, and what do? They become very weak. Is it because they are really engaged into some activities with their different societies where when they get into power, they say, shut up. So then they shut up. They become impotent. Or is it that they're just incompetent? They're just fools. They have no sense. Or they don't have a heart. Or is it that they're protecting themselves from being exposed in their evil and devilish ways? They call themselves Christians. Hey, even some of them call themselves Muslims. Well, how do you serve the people? In fact, who do you serve? Because you can't serve God and you serve the devil at the same time. And I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 of them are devil worshippers. And this is what weakens them. And you know what? So those devil worshippers, those so-called politicians, those mafias who have hijacked this country, this generation will not allow you to rest. We will not sit back idly or quietly anymore. Because the time for change is now, and we will expose each and every one of you for the satanic practices that you engage in, trading our future, gambling our future away for temporary gains. There are Liberians dying from sicknesses that are curable today. I get photos on the daily from people across the country dying from tuberculosis, dying from malaria, dying from fever, all these things that are treatable. But the clinics are empty. We have to go borrow drugs from Sierra Leone to try to restock our country. Half of the government clinics you go in, they don't have drugs on the shelves. How do you treat the people? But they don't care about that. They care about putting more money into their pocket. And Liberians do not stay quiet. Liberians revolt, because the time to do that is now. One more thing I would say. I learned that each of these lawmakers are being paid, bribed, I should say, 150,000. 150,000 to pass some of these concessions, to look the other way, to just sign on the paper. 150,000 that are bribing each of them. And these are the people that we voted for to represent us, to represent our grievances. And they've turned out to be just useless fools.
Right, so thank you so much, Fanta. I'll go to Melbourne. I was just going to, that was going to be my next question, but we'll talk about that after Melbourne's questions. I was going to ask you, because the legislature, according to the CMC release, the legislature budget has increased by 25%, from 41 million to almost 52 million, even as basic services remains unfunded. But again, I will get to that. Let's get to Melbourne. Melbourne, We are privileged today to have Fanta with us. She's very eloquent, intelligent, and she speaks truth to power. She speaks truth to power. She's not afraid to
Yes.
talk. So, do you have a question for her?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Connor. And let me say thanks. Yes, and let me say thanks to Fanta. I think that's good. Thank you so much for always coming on. I think most of our mothers, our sisters, I think they are overwhelmed this evening listening to you. That's good. Sometimes when you women come out and speak truth to power. That's what we like. Well, let's move on to your political leader. Even though everything that you just stated is like, I don't know whether you follow the MCC scorecard, but it's like, in fact, because it's out and that's really true. Employment opportunity is 9%. I know that one of the terrible things to even hear about. But let's move back to your political leader. When you talk about the entire budget, is about uh, eating show budget. People who have the privileges are the ones that are going to benefit from the budget. What say you with this kind of statement? And you're having the entire country almost, if not 98% of our people are living in poverty, and you hear about $1.2 billion budget that will be going to the elite. What say you when you hear the kind of news as a leader, a mother, a sister, and someone who care about uh, better Liberia? What say you?
Look, when you see, and when I say that, what defines me, it's is the love for Liberia at heart. It's not a light saying. Um, this country has given everything to the people who are robbing her today. Liberia has given these people life. That Noah string is buried under her soil. Yet, instead of appreciating her and giving back to her and honoring her for how she has embraced them, how she has nurtured them, they use and abuse her. In fact, most of them refer to her as elephant meat. Ah, mama, go call your own. Oh. My brother, elephant meat, when you go call your own. As if to say they are from monkeys, as science will put it. They're not from actual human beings that God created. They're from monkeys. God created animals as well. But this primitive ideology, that this abusive, this toxic ideology that we must continue to abuse the things that nurture us, must be put to an end. When you give, when you increase salaries for the 1%, but tell the Liberians that we can only feed you with $10 a year. If you take 13.6 million, divide by 5.6 Liberians, it comes out to about $10. The food we will give you is $10 for the whole year. But our salary, that's more important. You tell the farmers who are eager, the Farmers Association today, those who grow rice alone, there are over 250,000 members. They're eager for high yield seeds to plow their farms, to grow rice for this country. They're willing to work in the sun, day in and out, under the rain if that's what's required. All they need is support. And you give them $10 a whole year, 13.6 is the agriculture budget, but you have the audacity to increase the money that goes into your pocket as if to say the bribes that you're getting is not enough. Why are Liberians not angry about this? Why are Liberians sitting idle and say, oh, what you will do that the baby people now take them from on the pedestals, kick those pedestals from under their feet because they don't deserve it. These people are responsible for their poverty. And you sit there and you worship them. You know, let me address the Liberian people for just a moment. Because we too have a responsibility. We continue to elect these fools. And time again, what do? Their fences go high up. When they're driving in a BB car, they don't even see you. You're standing on the road, that car will jump in the dirty water and it will flash on you. And you sit there to continuously support them. When they only can afford to give you $10 to feed for the entire year. What's the average? How much on average does a Liberian spend on food daily? Should we say maybe $1? So that's 10 days. If there are 365 days.
It's $3. It's going to be $3 per day.
But most people live on $1 a day. So yeah. So a month, right? All right. So like let's say like $3. Let's say $3. There are 365 days. How much can $10 stretch? That's 3 days. Of the 365 days, they only give you 3 days of food. What happened to the 362 days? You will starve. They are telling you to eat rock and eat sand. That's what they're telling you. We can't afford 362 2 days food. What type of nonsense is that? You tell the farmer who's willing to work, when you see some of these people's hands, corn have grown in their hands from plowing their fields. Why not support the farmers? And that's what CMC intends to do. Provide an abundance of resources so Liberia can once again become a food sovereign nation. That is central to the CMC policy. Create food sovereignty for Liberia. We will grow our own food and we will eat what we grow. We're not going to give lip service. Because you know what? What has it done for anyone? And frankly, only the crazy man loves talking and talking a bunch of nonsense. People who are serious about change, they don't just talk. They talk and they do. And that's the difference.
Wow. Maybe another, if you have another question, go ahead.
Yeah, so follow-up question to the previous one. Sis Fanta, are we picky and choosing? Because how are you talking about Liberian people? They have to stand up. They have to, hold their leaders accountable on most of these things. But are we picky and choosing which way to go? Because if you notice, you will see that most of our people, especially some of them, they pick side, they take side, they be okay. The other person, when they were in government before, they do this and they do and they do that. But there's no time. And the politicians, they continue to steal from the people and put the people into higher poverty. But we are 50-50 divided. I think you already saw that. We are divided, according to them, that we are divided 50-50. But I'm a bit confused. Are we picking and choosing when it comes to these things? Or should Liberians come together as one unit and stand up and say, yes, we are not tired. I think it's about time that we stand up against bad leadership.
The enemy of the common man, the enemy of the Liberian man, our common enemy is bad leadership. We must galvanize around pushing out bad leaders. In fact, every single Liberian should revolt and be energized around this ideology of pushing out those fake politicians who do not support you, who do not own your grievances, and who do not care about if you have light over your head or food on your table or water at your desk or your children in school. Every single Liberian, this is my message to you. Wake up. The time for sleeping is over. You cannot afford to snore throughout the day and sleepwalk through your life. Wake the French up. Because if you do not, you will have generational poverty. It will seep from one generation to the next generation. This is your chance to wake up. Don't sit there and say, oh, because that man is a Bassa man, that man is the man from Lofa, so I will support him. Is he putting food on your table? You sit there, you say this man is from Grand Crew because he's my brother Grand Crew, I will support him. Is he putting food on your table should be your question. Your loyalty is to God first and foremost. Second is to Liberia. You are Liberian before you are Vai. You are Liberian before you are Gola. You are Liberian before you are Gisi. You are Liberian before you are Mano. You are Liberian before you are Bassa, before you are Crew. You are Liberian. If you do not stand up today, not tomorrow, not waiting for election, if you don't stand up today, you will be cursed with generational poverty. If you are willing to accept that, no problem. But I will tell you something. Don't cry about it tomorrow. Don't cry. The tin man, tin price are going up. You think things price go up by mistake? It's people who are sitting there actively making decisions to enrich themselves and keep you poor. Because if they can keep you poor, they can control you. That's the system. This system is intentionally designed to make sure that your family never access any type of Liberia's wealth. And that's why every chance they get, they sign these long-term concession contracts. And they will come and buy off all your properties with the money they have stolen from a resource that should have gone to you. Every Liberian should be able to enjoy the share of the resources that are under the soil of Liberia. But they take your share from you. They send their children to school. When they're sick, they get on the plane and they go abroad. When you're sick, JFK will not even take you. JFK will tell you that they don't have beds. Redemption will not even take you. Y'all saw the last time. They will not give birth right in front of redemption. Because you know what? Her family is cursed with generational poverty. Every person who does not sit at the table today, you have been cursed. To remove that curse, you must stand up and put Liberia first. Vote the CMC, the Citizens Movement for Change, so your life can be transformed. And it's not going to be easy. We have to galvanize, roll up your sleeves, and get ready to work. Because what y'all have seen is nothing. When the real work starts, you better be on the front line, John. You better be on the front line, Peter. You better be on the front line, Joseph. I need to see you on the front line, my Mary. They're trying to curse you. We must break that curse. These people are devil worshippers. Because you can't see another human being suffering, and you turn away from them. You don't know that human being feeling. All you care about is enriching yourself. Why people don't even have food to eat. I get calls from people like who tell me, I can't even go to the hospital. Oh, why? Why are you not going to the hospital, Blamo? I can't afford it. Oh, they will charge registration fee. How much is registration fee? 500 lewote. 500 lewote registration fee. So you can't afford it. Blamo can't afford it. But when they're sick, they can afford plane ticket. We must wake up. That time is now.
Thank you, Fanta. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Once again, I want to welcome all of you to SKTV. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona, from Monrovia, from Moswado County, Liberia. As you can see, the show is really, really fired up today, and will always be. Ms. Fanta Kamara, she is the spokesperson for the CMC, the Citizens Movement for Change. Today we are discussing Liberia, Liberian politics. We are discussing the budget and everything else. Melbourne, what's going on in terms of the news bulletin today? Before we give the next question. Melbourne, can you hear me?
Transition, but we will leave you people for a moment.
Melbourne, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you. I'm saying that we will transition.
All right. It looks like Melbourne is not hearing me. I'm not sure whether or not we're going for the news bulletin today, but I want to encourage everybody to share the show. Fanta, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Melbourne, can you hear me?
Getting you. I'm saying that we
Melbourne.
transition for the news bulletin. I'm getting you. I don't know whether you're getting me. If you're not getting me, then
So,
for me, I'm getting you.
is the news bulletin coming on?
Yeah.
Is the news
So
bulletin
we
coming
will.
on soon?
Yes. So we will transition and leave you for the minutes because we haven't set up for that.
Why didn't you tell us? You don't want us to listen to the news? All right. Fanta, it seems like we can continue with the conversation while Melbourne carry on the news bulletin and can come. Or if you want to take maybe 5 or 10 minute breaks, can come back. It's up
No.
to you. Do we
Yeah.
continue?
No, we can definitely continue. Look, we have to understand as a people, right? The biggest issue facing the common man is not crime. As I said, it's hunger. You increase this budget to build more prisons. Who are you going to put in that prison? The common man. For stealing what? For stealing bread. For stealing chicken. For stealing oil. For stealing food. It's very sad. It's very, very sad, and to think that this is the civilization, this is our civilization, that has become the norm today, is despicable, is unacceptable, and we have to reject it.
So, so, so I saw you, I heard you speaking to the Liberian people directly.
Mhm.
The question is, are they listening? Because these politicians, they will come and tell you all of the things you guys are doing, CMC is doing, Mustability is doing. Y'all wait and see. 2029, y'all get less than 5%. Y'all get. I mean, why are they taking the Liberian people? Do you think Liberian people are actually paying attention and they are hearing the message being sent by you and others?
Of course.
Do you think they are listening?
Yeah, absolutely. They bank on the fact that the people will turn a blind ear when they come and say, you don't pay attention, you don't pay no mind to that thing, no point in talking, they're just fooling you. But you know the difference? The people can see it. The people are not stupid. We often use this line, but it's true. Liberians are among the most intelligent in the world. We choose to elect these people because we tend to be very trusting. But trusting the wrong people is not going to serve us. And therefore, we have seen time and time again the Unity Party and others have failed. So we must pull out our scorecard, take pen and paper, really make this decision not based on tribal line, not based on party affiliation, but based on what it does for you. Who puts money in your pocket? Who puts food on your table? Take out your piece of paper. I want every Liberian to keep a piece of paper. Take your pen. Write down. Politician A, what kind of development have they brought to my community? Politician B, what type of development have they brought to my community? Have they brought me food, water, accessibility? Am I able to do business with ease? Write it down. That should be your report card. So when election comes around, you don't vote based on what someone tells you or the lies they try to tell you. You vote based on your report card. That's how you vote. Because it's about improving your life. You can't say you want to change something, but then you have no ways of measuring that change. You can't talk without metrics, as we call it. KPIs, key performance indicators. How is this person performing? I must write it down to know what success looks like. So tomorrow, I'm not depending on my brain. I'm depending on my report card. That's what I'm depending on. And that's how we have to operate. We have to operate with precision. We must operate surgically. Otherwise, we lose. We as Liberians lose. And it's unacceptable. And the CMC is here to change that. But it's up to the people if they're ready for that change. We have to do better as a people. With the opportunity that we have to make the right decision. We have to choose the right leaders. Because if we do not, our future depends on it. The future of our children depends on it. Our entire lives depend on it. You want to be more safe? You want to have a more productive life? Your environment has to be productive. Your government has to provide the necessary support to make sure you're able to live a dignified life. Otherwise, it's for nothing. It's absolutely for nothing. So we must make the right choice in 2029 because the stakes are very, very high. We cannot afford to be in the same situation we are today, just complaining and complaining and complaining because nobody's listening. The people in the office, they're not listening. They don't care about your voice. They care about their pockets. They care about their own family. And we have to change that as a nation. We have to change that as a people. It's too risky to keep them in power. They must vacate. Absolutely. There's no other option. They must leave, and they must leave now. And 2029 will be that defining moment for each and every Liberian. Keep your scorecard and mark everything down. And at the end of the day, the person that does the most for your community, the person that puts more food on your table, the person that creates more opportunity for your children, you should go with that person. And that's why the CMC stand to be that absolute movement. Because that's exactly what we're going to do. But you are critical to that decision. You must join hands. That's the only way Liberia stands a chance. Truly. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you feel you cannot even, you don't even know where to start. The problems are endless. You don't know where you will even find money from to go to the market. What you're even going to eat for that day, not even talking about breakfast. I know most people live on one meal a day. And sometimes they have families they can't even feed because the food is too little to go all around. Some parents will even starve themselves because the very little that they have, they can only afford for their children to eat it. So they will starve themselves and make that sacrifice for their children. We shouldn't be a nation of people who do not hold accountable the people we have entrusted to ensure that we lead a life of decency, that our basic necessities are not gambled. And we have to hold them accountable. We are equal participants. We can't sit there and say, they're not going to hear me. We're hearing you. The CMC is hearing you, which is why we are taking the actions that we are. They're not going to hear me.
Yeah. So sorry about that. We have some connection problem.
No worries.
I'm glad that you were able to hold on, and I really, really appreciate it. Appreciate that. I want to appreciate everybody else that actually stay on, and I want to say thank you to Fanta Kamara for being here today. It has been very much fiery show. A lot of people the feedbacks are good because people been texting me, what's going on. Say, cool, no, please don't let this show go off. Whatever's going on, please, and they are actually enjoying the show. So I wanted to ask you this. Talk about this before because there are a lot of people watching us in Nimba County. If Nimba is going to get, if the company in Nimba County, as in Asalamita, giving 200 million to Liberian government, we understand that money is almost being divided among themselves. 200 million. Now what? 200,000. And somebody said they could have given at least 1 million to each district. They wouldn't have 9 districts, or maybe 2 million to help them. So, what the people getting in this money, and what if they eat all the money as they usually do? Then what become of the people?
That's a question. That's a question for the people. If these type of thievery, when someone steals from us, right? When the regular person steals from us, we found the biggest stick. We want to beat them with that stick. Mm-hmm. We're ready to put tire around them to burn them alive. We call it jungle justice, right? Mm-hmm. We activate that anger within us. The very little that I have, you are coming to steal it. I'm so angry. I'm so enraged. I won't find the biggest stick to bust your head with it. Mm-hmm. Where is that same anger for the politicians who are stealing from you? I want the Liberian people to be enraged. I want them to find that rage within their belly, not even their heart. I want you to find that rage within your soul. Because until you stand up, they know they can get away with it. And why are they getting away with it? Because you are allowing them to get away with it. Don't sit there and say, oh, that B-man, without your election, without you going to the ballot, that big man would have not been elected. So in reality, you are the big man. The power is with you. Because if you don't vote for them, they don't end up in office. You voted for them. And that's why they occupy the seats that they do today. So only you have the power to change it. Your vote, your ballot that will be casted is the change that says that 200 million comes back to Nimba County. Is the change that said each district in Nimba will split that 200 million. That's the change that you need. But if you don't find the courage right now, if you don't find the courage right now to join a movement that is going to keep these criminals accountable, if you're not as enraged, you will continue to ask the question. We are not question askers. we should be activated and active citizens who participate in the activities of their nation. Hold politicians' feet to the fire who don't deliver, and kick them out of office swiftly. Don't delay it. Because the more you delay it, mind you, they're giving you $10 for the whole year. They give you $10 for the whole year. Like only 3 days they will feed you for. What happened to the 362 days? What thing you will eat? And you sit there and you say, you scratching your head. My man, if we don't even get each district 1 million, why would they get each district 1 million? You have many used to it. So they know you will not do nothing. They know you will not say nothing. So why they can't eat a 200 million? And just tell you, my man, and rub it real like on your mouth. Why would you get used to somebody rubbing real oil on your mouth? Who are you? You have the right as a citizen of Liberia. You're not a naturalized citizen. You were born in Liberia. Why will you sit there and continue to give these people power over you? It is your God-given right to demand equal share of the resources that Asala Metal pulls from under the Nimba soil.
But Fanta, for some reason, somebody said they're not seeing me, but they're hearing me.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah, we're not seeing you.
I don't know what's wrong with that, but I'll try to fix it. But but in the meantime, the people say, you know what? Let people do whatever they want to do. We'll work for them 2029. What do you think they can do right now to actually make sure they get their fair share?
They can galvanize. One thing that is in our Constitution is the right to protest. It's the right to protest. And protest happens in many different forms. Do not allow your protest to be infiltrated by hooligans. Protest accordingly. Look, if we're not willing to sacrifice for the resources, for our share, our equal share in the resources under our soil, these things will continue to happen. And when I get to Liberia, I will come and protest with you. I will be in the front line holding that placard. You will not even ask me to. Because you know why? Liberia depends on it.
I don't know why my camera is not.
Liberia depends on it. So don't sit there and feel powerless. You are the one who have the power, because come election, they will be knocking on your doors. As I said, keep your report card. Write their names down. Write their names down. And write what they did for you. The time of rubbing real oil on your mouth, like that time is over. Demand your equal share of the resources as an Imbayan, as a Mountainian that is under your soil. Don't just sit there. Because they think they can get away with it. And they will continue to get away with it if we don't hold them accountable, if we do nothing. That's what they're banking on, that we are not going to have the courage to do something. And show them that we will do something. Because we understand our rights.
So what about this idea of, they said they increased the government, the security budget for about, extra 15 million or so. But then the police officers are not getting any money. They're taking home $80, $150 a month. Military personnel are not getting paid. And then the security budget is increased. So do you think the level of outreach that we expect from ordinary people, should we expect the same thing from security personnel, police officers, military personnel, and other people? I mean, the money is increasing, but they are paying not increasing. So, how do you explain that?
Segu, let me show you something. $80 divided by $3 a day. You see it here? 26 days. There are 30 days in a month. Maybe February, 28 days. But normally there are 30 days in a month. Some months have 31 days. They pay you $80 to feed you for 26 days, spending $3 a day for food. Now, this is very generous, right? Because me, I'm a numbers person. The data is facts. Don't tell me nothing else if you can't show it to me. So show it to me. If you're paying someone $80, divide by $3, the average Liberian spend on food. That's 26 days. So I can only buy food for 26 days. What about the transportation? Let me subtract transportation. Melbourne, please help me. How much do Liberians spend on transportation daily?
So from Dupont Road where I live to go to Central Maneuver is around 250. From Dupont Junction to go, from Dupont Junction to go is 250 to go and 250 to come. So 2 and 4 is about 500. Then, for example, if you live inside Dupont Road, sometimes some of our people, they live around the waterside, they pay $100 to come to Dupont Road Junction to get taxi. So if you live maybe around the market, you pay $50 from there to the junction. So you may likely pay $250 to go, or you may likely pay $300 to go, depends on where you live outside of the junction. So the high and low level. Yeah.
So let's just say,
let's say 300 to go and 300 to come, plus the food that you will eat maybe for the day.
Okay, so how do we let's put that in dollars, right? Let's just put that like in dollars. How much is that?
So let's just say $4. Yes, $3.
$3.
Yeah.
So for transportation and food daily is $3, right? Okay.
No, only for transportation, food not there yet.
Only for transportation, $3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you have taken this $80. This for household food, $3 for household food. That's 26 days, right? Okay. So now that $3 becomes $6 because now you have to go to work, right? And you leave $3 to the house, your transportation, everything will be an additional $3, right? So that's $6 daily.
Indeed.
So we'll take 80 divided by 6. Can you see that? 13 days.
Yes.
13 days. They are feeding you and transporting you to work with that salary. 13 days. The people who should be even more angry are the police people and the AFL. Because for those who are unemployed, their situation is still very much a destitute one. But the police people and the AFL should be even more angry. Because, look, I give my hat off to my Liberian police people. Hat off to you. The thing that you're doing on a daily basis, it can make somebody hair. Your hair, like I imagine what you can deal with. And they only are able to pay you for 13 days. You have to go and borrow from people for transportation. Most people. I know. They will go borrow transportation. They will go John Susu. They will go credit even from the bank to go to work. At the end of the month, they give them $80. This is modern day slavery. This is modern day slavery. The police people should be the ones most angry. And when they tell you, when the protesters come on the street and when they tell you, oh, y'all go and go chastise them, join them. Join the protest. Because you as police people, you as security officials of our nation, you should be honored. You should be taking home a decent pay where you can feed your family and transport yourself back and forth to work without having to go and credit from somebody. Where at the end of the month, you dodging the person, you can't even look the person in the face. What kind of life is this? Our AFL, who have to go through extraneous trainings and protect the nation. How do you pay them? This is even below minimum wage. What is the justification? And then you say you increase security 151 million. Where does that money go? In whose pocket? In whose pocket? You know, Liberia have to be very careful. These people have to be very careful. When you look at the trend today across the continent, you look at Tanzania, who was a peaceful country, due to due to quelling dissent and not making the promises that were made to the people. The youth revolted. Unemployment is highest among the Liberian youth today. I know I heard you said 9%. It is more than that. It is 30+% unemployment. How many youth do we have in Liberia that you can't have an asylum metal? An asylum metal, right? You can't have like an AB terminal. You can have a beer mountain. Employ all the youth in Liberia today. They can afford it. We've done the math. They can afford it. Because the concessions you've given to them are worth billions. Are worth billions. Why can you not afford to empower the people? You pay our police people $80, AFL $100, $200. How are they supposed to survive? The trend across Africa today is a warning. You know how Ibrahim Traore came to be in power in Burkina Faso? I'll tell you the story. I'll give you the short version of the story.
So can we safely say yes? Stefan, so can we safely say it's a broad day robbery? It's a legal, if a legalized.
It's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than that. Let me tell you something. Let me connect the dots because it's very important. What they are not realizing, what they're playing with. The tension in the country is very high because you're playing with people's livelihoods. You're playing with people's livelihoods. We see Tanzania, we see Madagascar, we see the uprising in Kenya. We're seeing Ivory Coast right next door. Liberia is not far off. If this government don't get their act together, Liberia is not far off. Where we don't want any type of war. But you cannot continue to take food from somebody's table and expect them not to uprise against you. And not expect an uprising. And not expect them to jump your fence. Because you eating chicken. You eating whole chicken. You eating whole cow. They may haven't eaten for 16 days. What do you expect him to do? He should sit there quietly like a mumu. Sit down there. Just die of starvation.
Thank you, Fanta. Thank you so much. Before we go to the line, let me just ask you this, then we'll open the lines to our Liberian people, both in the diaspora and in Liberia. They can call in and maybe ask a question. We have been getting a lot of calls here, a lot of these messages. People are really enjoying the show. They say Fanta is fired up. Somebody telling me, but why you don't be the woman every day? I said, but the woman got work to do. You're Liberian people there. Some of us have been here for years and years. You're not listening to us. So maybe Fanta can come and add, some good, some good things to what we have been doing over the years. But again, so let me ask you this question, Fanta. Everything we're saying right now is bad, is bad, is bad. But in terms of the police salary, in terms of the affordability of healthcare, school, what is she going to do differently? People asking that question. Okay, all you are doing, everything bad. How are you going to do differently that will be, that will benefit the Liberian people? How is she going to do things differently from what we have right now?
Let me tell you something right now. Liberia has enough resources to be a sovereign nation, period. If you don't know what sovereign means, let me break it down. You have enough food in your house. You have enough of everything you need to never leave your yard. To never leave your yard. Liberia as a country has that. It is the mismanagement, the gross and disgusting mismanagement that lends us to where we are today. So we must call it out. The CMC understands that Liberia has enough resources to feed its people, to be a secure state, to make sure that every hospital has enough beds to where you don't turn away any patient, to make sure that the drug shelves of the JFKs and the Redemption and the little clinics in the whole of Bapolu are fully stocked, so the people are never have to lapse in their treatment. You have people taking TB treatment today in the villages, but they go to the clinics that the government has designated them to go to, and the shelves are empty. The TB drugs are not there. CMC is going to make sure that every clinic, every medical facility is fully stocked. There are ongoing training to educate the people of the different preventative methods. Ensure that they receive door-to-door service. Today you have what they call surveillance staff. They're employed by the health ministry. They're supposed to go to each community. They're supposed to go around, right? Making sure that the people in the community are healthy, documenting things like doing surveys, right? And making sure to connect those people to treatment. But today, even the surveillance staff, they don't have the right tools and resources to do that. So they can't bring the level of services that the health services, the people need to ensure we continue to breed healthy communities. CMC will change that and empower every staff to make sure our communities remain healthy. In fact, women and children will have free health care. So the pregnant woman is not thinking, hey, I don't have this $100 to go to JFK to give birth. Don't think about it. You will give birth for free. Your child sick, don't think about not taking them to hospital. They will go to hospital for free. You want to access higher education? Don't think about it. You will go to school for free. And not just that, because employment is on the other side of that. You can't have a youth population, the demographic is 80% youth. You have that ripe population, ready, so energetic and enthusiastic, ready to contribute to the society, but they lack the opportunity. CMC will create that. You ask how CMC will do that? We will put a mandate on all of these concession contracts. They sign for 20 years, 30 years. You must hire these amount of students when they graduate. It's a mandate. It's non-negotiable. I hope you understand. So John is not going to graduate in engineering and he has no employment. If the Ministry of Public Works does not employ him, an engineering firm would. I hope you understand. This is the plan that we are drafting, and these plans are not being drafted. These policies are not being drafted in vacuum. These policies are being drafted with the citizens at the table. They're adequate representations of the citizens who themselves are contributing to these policies. So when we release our manifesto, it is going to be quite comprehensive. We are leaving no stones unturned. And they're not just going to be words on paper. There will be measurements, what we refer to as measurable outcomes. So when we say we're going to produce 500,000 jobs within a year, you're going to see how exactly we're going to do that. And at the end of that year, those data will be published on a public dashboard. We are in the digital age, grandpas. If y'all don't know how to operate a cell phone or a smartphone, please go retire. Go sit down on your farm somewhere and leave it to the technologically savvy minds who are able to create a digital future for the people of Liberia. Because transparency is what we're lacking today. CMC is going to make everything transparent. You will be able to measure our performance because it's going to be, this data is going to be fed in to the digital dashboard. Every citizen will be able to log on.
You know, Fanta, let me stop you for a second. So let me stop you for a second.
Wait, 1 second. What? Just one more second. Just one more second. This is
important. Go ahead.
If you remember the Arab Spring, how did the Arab Spring start?
For social media.
Nope. Mayborn, how did the Arab Spring start?
It was a gentleman who got angry and went and burned himself and posted on social media.
Why did he get angry?
Because of corruption in the country.
Specifically, why did he get angry?
Okay, you need to help us with that.
Okay. Mayborn, try. Why did he get angry?
Because of bad leadership.
I need specific. Let's get down to the core. Like, why did he get angry, Mayborn? Because this is important for our listeners.
Yeah. So let me just add up to the previous one. I think
maybe let her help us because we don't have enough time.
No problem. Look.
Go ahead.
He was a youth. He was a youth who recently graduated with a degree from a reputable school in Tunisia. Started right in Africa. It didn't even start in the Middle East. Started right in Africa. An African youth graduated with a degree, very similar to the Liberian youth graduating today with a degree. He went from one company to the next trying to get hired. Nobody will hire him. The youth unemployment was so high that he couldn't even contribute to his family feeding. Because male in the African setting or head of household, like you contribute to the household. He couldn't do that. He couldn't find a job. And one thing we don't realize is that is a slippery slope between being mentally sound and mentally unsound. That when frustration gets to you, when the hard time really, really gets to you, it's like you lose your brain.
True.
He lost his brain and he set himself on fire as a protest of lack of employment. Liberia is on the brink. The youth have been taking so much advantage of. The Gen Z protest that is sweeping the continent today, we pray that it never gets to Liberia. But if we don't speak up and our people are not activated to denounce the denigration we have been forced to endure as a people, we're going to bear the consequences. The people are not stupid. So wake up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Fanta. Maybe let's open the line. I have a few people here that want to call in, but you will do the call. Maybe if I get some call, I may interrupt you one or two times. But yeah, you can go ahead and open the line. Let's hear from our people at least for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we can go back to.
Yes, go ahead, David King.
Yeah, thank you. Let me say good evening to your guest and Mr. Kenneth. We have discussed the budget and we discussed the CNC chairman reaction to the budget. I strongly believe in my mind the rebuttal of the budget by the CNC political leader and all media houses made that fund to run back to the speaker for that people he carried to him, calling the budget to carry back to make the necessary adjustment. Because we cannot have a budget that will not reflect on the lives of the Liberian people. Because they both know that we in Liberia, many of us are very much there. So they will just bring something, then you see people clapping, and like somebody went to some kind of event and the speaker speaking, you never understood what the man said, because you heard other people clapping, you join them to start clapping. That's what they did. That's what they did that for. We don't understand things. I told you yesterday that the 14 military and the embryo hospital was not mentioned, but that's not in that budget. Somebody call on the show, try to debunk me. And that's the kind of offense that we bring to the discussion, because you wear green t-shirt, so everything about green, you will side with it. Even if it is at your own detriment, you will speak to it that way. I think we have to wake up from our slumber on we that are brand people. Because businesses, taxes are being increased on it. Who feed it? They work. We the end user. Because when we go buy our commodity, the price will be high, and we have to pay because we need those assets.
All right.
So we can't be sitting here and be looking at people struggling all their got people there. Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you, David King. Keep your calls coming 0770-203125. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show. We have our guest here today from the CMC and also strong, energetic woman who also making a case for Mama Liberia. Those of you who've been following, yes, indeed, she here. Says Fanta Kamara. So keep your calls coming 0770-203125. That's the number this evening. What say you? What's your take on all of the things that she's been talking about and everything that you heard from the beginning of the show up to now? What say you? Keep your calls coming.
Maybe I'll have somebody here. Ambassador.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, please. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're live. I mean, there's a lot of noise in the background. You got whatever you got listening to, turn now off. No. All right. Yeah, much better.
Okay, so SK, the budget, I think the budget was meant to improve the life of the people. It's not to improve the people's pocket, the minister's pockets. But now, as we are looking at this budget, 1.2 billion, I think it's not about the people anymore, but it's about the government officials. And I stand strongly against this, and I think the Liberian people will rise up against this full government on the kind of protection that they are bringing to our country. And, bringing a budget, increasing budget just to fill their pockets and to make their family rich, I think is against our people, and we will not support it. I'm on a car, so I just thought to call to make my input. But by tomorrow, we're going to contribute more to the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so remember, you can go ahead, and if nobody's calling, maybe people really enjoy.
Yeah, 0770-203125. There are all calls that have been coming on the WhatsApp. Also, Mr. John, I will also try calling you to call back. Those of you who've been calling in, you can also call down so that we can have you on the line. And so you too, you can also have to say on our discussion here this evening right here on the SKTV Wednesday edition of the SKTV show where we have.
So Melbourne, if nobody's calling me, the people are enjoying the conversation, so we can continue the conversation. Unless somebody call, you can.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Colin.
So I wanted to ask you, Fanta, about CMC's position when it comes to this whole idea: free school, free healthcare. Somebody asked, how are you going to have free school? How are you going to have free school for the people? How are you going to be paid for? How is that going to be paid for?
So it's not something that is foreign. In fact, didn't we offer free college education, free university? So he did that. And this government attempted to do the same, right? The college budget or the education budget set at 33 million for 2025. There was a petition to increase it to about 45 million. Sekou, you telling me we can't file 45 million to make sure that youth go to college for free? Yes, we can.
How are you going to fund
it? One lawmaker, the amount of money that they take home from their term in office, in addition to the bribery that they receive. Look, we're going to slash, not even cut. We're going to slash excess. And not just ensure free education, but ensure that the students are comfortable in a building that is not leaking. A building that doesn't look like Debale House. Go to the university and look at how dilapidated it looks. Forget that. Go to our primary and secondary schools. Most communities in the rural areas, they are not even able to go back to schools. You know why? Because their roofs are leaking. The Zingna, the government is wicked. The zinc has been rotten. You have seen rotten zinc. I'm sure we have seen rotten zinc. I have been caught by a rotten zinc. We all have encountered what rotten zinc look like. Picture a rotten zinc on top of a schoolhouse. You asking how will CMC change that? The education budget will be increased by 10-fold by slashing waste, by curbing bribery and corruption, and by renegotiating these concessions to make sure that they contribute more to the people and the community in which they serve. You take Firestone today, for example, largest rubber plantation in the world. You know how much money Firestone made from Liberia? Billions, if not trillions of dollars. Go to that community today. Wasn't it just recently that they even forced them to put up actual buildings for the people to live in? The people didn't have running water. Because you know why? They were taking money from the company, which that money that's supposed to be going to the communities, to the schools, and building those infrastructure, solidifying those infrastructure were going into the pockets. So you ask how CMC is going to fund these things? We are going to close those corruption levers. That 1 million, 2 million, 3 million that's supposed to go into that representative pocket or senator pocket is going to go into schools. Is that cool? You ask how CMC is going to ensure that healthcare is free for pregnant women and children. The same thing. Our healthcare budget today, the budget that they're proposing, I think I saw it was like 101 million. 101 million. Where is the output of that? Can we get the line item on how that budget is going to be spent? You know what's going to be the CMC difference? We're going to show you. If we allocate $1 to something, we'll tell you how it's going to be spent. We're not just going to give lip service to things. And you know why we'll be able to do this? Because we live it. We live it. We have seen it. And we're taking action on them today. For example, there's so many CMC leaders who are doing work in their respective counties outside of the PL. The PL has done phenomenally well in Nimba, in Bong, right? In Bapulu, in Monrovia, in other parts of the country. But what you don't know is that this is the fabric of CMC. This is what tie all the CMCers together. The will to do for the people. You may not see because the media does not cover it. When a politician gives 10 bag of rice to an entire community, the media covers that. But most CMC leaders, most CMCers are active in their communities today, contributing thousands of dollars to the rebuilding of their communities today, from school to health to roads. The media is not going to cover that. Why? Because it doesn't entice them. It's strange. They don't understand it. It's a phenomenon, right? But it's happening. So think about that. When that is the culture of the CMC today, to do for the people, to be serviceable, to be servant leaders, what do you think is going to happen when they take power? When they actually have the government budget, when they have access to billions of dollars, when they have access to billions of dollars, when they are doing what they are doing today with hundreds of dollars, with thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars. Imagine how Liberia will be transformed when the CMC has access to the billions.
So Fanta, thank you so much. Again, we will bring you here primarily to talk about CMC development and projects around the country, starting from Nima County, Bon County, Lofa, and the rest of the counties in the country. So we'll talk about CMC what, whether it is building schools, clinics, road construction, and building bridges. We'll talk about those things here. We'll be specifically, discussing CMC works.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you about while we wrap up here is that CMC is doing very okay. It looks. Hold on one second. The chairman is calling. I'm not sure they're calling to say something here. Hello.
Joining us. This is the Wednesday edition of the SK TV show. Let me kind of finish. Stefana, I wanted to ask you about the latest, the MCC scorecard report. Yeah.
The chairman, the honorable chairman of the CMC, Honorable James Yogi, is calling in for the first time.
Okay.
Maybe because we have the spokesperson here today to contribute to the conversation. So, Mr. Chairman, you are live on SKTV.
Thank you, Sekou. Thank you to Fanta. Good evening to our dear listeners in Radio Land and our many members and partisans of the Citizens Movement for Change. Quickly, I just want to say thank you for the continued support and commitment to the party. And those who think, who still believe that the CMC is here for a joke, they have to think again. We can assure our supporters and the Liberian people that this party is here to work for them and to work with them. And so we just like to invite all Liberians, all of those Liberians who believe that our country is not well, all of those Liberians who believe and who are feeling the pinch of the suffering and the misrule, we are inviting you to the CMC. The CMC is the home of all Liberians, and our arms are open, and we receive a lot of people from different backgrounds at different levels coming at the offices in the different communities taking on membership. But I think Fanta has already spoken a lot sufficiently about the budget and the government decision to craft the kind of budget they crafted and submitted to the legislature. It only shows the heart that they have for the people of Liberia and for our country. That is a clear manifestation of the lack of goodwill towards the people of Liberia. And we're not going to sleep on them. We'll ensure that we'll continue to keep their feet to the fire, and we'll continue to inform the people of Liberia so that they can be empowered with the necessary information they need that will help them and inform them in their decision making as to who to take or to choose or to elect as leader in the coming elections. So we just want to say thank you, and I just wanted to pass this by and believing to all of us Liberians and all of our partisans and those who are out of the country. And Fanta, we are proud of you, and we just want to say thank you, Sekou, Mabel. Please continue what you're doing for our party and the people of Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On that note, we want to bring you here as well to discuss the CMC. And you are being the chairman for this big movement. It's important that the people here also hear from you. Now, I know you've been to other radio stations, other platforms, but we at SKTV will also like to have a conversation with you, as we are doing right now with your spokesperson.
Anytime.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mabel, let's go back to Fanta Kamara if she's there, so we can wrap up. So, it has been a very, 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 enjoyable conversation. And a lot of people don't want it to finish, but every good thing must come to an end. But before we do, Fanta, recently the government stopped the CMC from building bridge in Bapolo, building bridge in River G, and most recent, they stopped the CMC from building bridge connecting a community in Banga, Bon County. You are from Bon County and Cape Mount, based on your parents, where your parents are from, Bon County and Cape Mount. What do you make of the fact that this government is depriving the people of Bon County from having a bridge? Let me just take this call and then you can just answer, and maybe the person has a question for you. At Mohamed Enza Dollar, what CMC chairperson for Minnesota, the first chapter and the biggest chapter of CMC in the United States. How you doing, sir? You're live.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank your studio guest, Fanta. Fanta is fired up. She make a good case today. I think this is one of the best shows so far this year for the SKTV. I must say that. And I want to take this time to personally thank Fanta for speaking out, for making the case for CMC. I hope she can continue to do this. This will help for the people of Liberia to listen. She has made a good case today. We are so proud of her. And I want to say personally, thank you. It's very great. Thank you. Thanks for having me, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, since people, maybe can you imagine? This is the best show so far. We have a lot of good show here, man. What kind of
anyway, that's good. I like that. I like him for that. And that one,
let's go back. Let's go back to final to wrap. We only got 5 minutes to go. So what say you about the government decision to stop the CMC from building the bridge for the people of Bon County? And you're muted. Okay.
Yeah. Look, my father is an engineer. He worked for the Ministry of Public Works for almost 40 years. He's the most principled and dedicated servant I have ever seen in terms of servitude to people. And so I come from an engineering background, is why I mention that. I understand the protocols of acquiring the right permits and what have you, doing the right thing always, never compromising. But when there is a need, when there is an emergency where people are dying, there are statistics. On average, women trying to give birth, try to cross that river, they live in the river. Because the current is too strong, they die. And every time that happens, a woman and that child dies. We lose minimally 2 people, maybe 3 people if she's carrying twins. Now we know it's not rare for women to carry triplets. So sometimes 4 people. Imagine that. That could be your mother, that could be your sister, that could be your cousin, that could be your friend. Every time a life is lost because people are trying to access services. The lack of connectivity, the lack of access is killing our people today. You will never think that access will contribute to fatalities. But here it is today, in our day and age. Are women trying to just cross the river? They leave inside because they don't swim. Or sometimes the current is too strong. Men, boys, girls get drowned in that river. And you have a citizen of the country, irrespective of your political ideology, the differences that you have with that person. Even if you say they didn't do the right thing, you are there as the ministry to facilitate such projects because it creates relief for the communities. It alleviates fatalities. If you do it for no other reasons, do it so another woman and children don't die trying to cross that river. Do it so another young boy, another young girl doesn't die in that river trying to cross it. But you hold on to your political ideology. And because of that difference, you punish the people of the community, a service that they are in desperate need of. What does that make you? It makes you, the Ministry of Public Works, a monster. It makes the minister a monster.
I'm so sorry that we are running out of time.
It makes the president a monster.
I want you to incorporate your closing comment in this so we can just wrap it up because we're gonna have 2 minutes to go.
We cannot continue. We cannot continue.
We'll come back again.
We cannot continue to allow these monsters to rule our society because they will rule us into the underworld of evil. If you're comfortable with women and children dying for your own selfish political desires, you are a coward. Grow a pair. Or if you're impotent and you don't have the capacity to act in the interest of the people, step aside. We see it with the Liberianization policy. It's just lip service to them. They are putting Liberian businesses out of business today in preference for foreign interest. Once again, we are not against foreign direct investment, but we are against the exploitation of our resources and especially putting Liberian companies and Liberians out of job. We are against the interest of those mafia politicians who covered the resources of Liberians for their own and unwilling to share it. Those people are cowards and they need to vacate and allow real leadership to take place and true service to be provided to the people of Liberia. You look at the waste management. I know they're secretly negotiating to still give that contract to Zoom Lion and make foreigners millionaires, make Ghanaian millionaires, make other country citizen millionaires when we don't even have a middle class in Liberia because they have refused to empower Liberians and Liberian businesses. But I dare them outside of CMC on my own personal vow as a Liberian. If you dare give that contract to Zoom Lion, I will protest to the death of me. When I mentioned at the beginning of the show that who I am is a Liberian at the core and everything I do is about Liberia and whatever it takes, sacrificially, you will find me there when it comes to the cause of Liberia and uplifting the voices of Liberians whose voices are silent. So MCC, Peensville Corporation, PPCC, if you're dare to give that contract to Zoom Lion, to continue to put Liberian businesses out of work and continue to take advantage of the Liberian people, you will find me on the first row of the protest line. Every Liberian should be activated and wake up because this government does not exist to serve you. If you're not angry, if you're not enraged, you need to wake up. Find the courage to stand up because that's the only chance of survival we have. We must unite as a people against not just bad leadership, against these monsters who are trying to rip us of our souls. On that note, thank you, Sky TV, for your time.
SKTV.
Oh,
no,
SKTV.
Wait, Sky, a lot of people can think of T Max Jalate show, but this is SKTV.
Got it. SKTV. Thank you so much, SKTV, for your time.
But you think, Fanta, let me say this to you. We are very grateful. We appreciate your time. We want you here more often. As much as you are available, we'll bring you on here to have conversation on national issues. There will be time, it will not be about CMC, but your personal contribution to the society, the contribution to Liberia, the message of change, the message of advocacy, Liberian people standing up for themselves, the message of a better Liberia for the future of our children and their children is so powerful. So the reason why I'm not even rushing you off now because the radio people left us already, or we still have hundreds of people watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as on Instagram. So we are still with people, but we will not be here for any more long. We'll be here for like 2 hours. Normally our show is 2 hours. But again, I want to say thank you to you. You know, you mentioned a few things in your deliberations, especially when it comes to the bridge in Bon County. That got me emotional. Pregnant women been dying on that bridge, trying to cross that water. Students, when I listen to the people that live around there, the students sometimes they have to put their school bags on their back and swim. Some of them end up dying. For somebody, politicians, to stop that bridge from being built because of political expediency, because it will put you at disadvantage politically. It's not only weakness, but it's very much unpatriotic in my opinion. But again, whether it's Thursday, Friday, one of those days we want you to come back so we can talk more about the CMC, especially the projects the CMC being carried out not only in Bon County but Nimba, in Lofa. Yesterday I listened to the political leader of the CMC when he said it's off the back. In Lofa County, CMC already getting guaranteed 25% of the vote already in Lofa. Not even to mention what's going to happen between now and 2029. So I also like to talk about Cape Man. What is going on in Cape Man with the CMC? Because Sandra Johnson, who will bring it here to, in a few days to talk about what's going on in Bomi County, he informed me personally. He said, Seku, I don't know what's going on with the CMC thing. Why are CMC thing? I said, what happened? He said, everywhere we go, everywhere, not a single place we have gone, and people didn't tell us, that they were us. They were the CMC. He asked me what's going on. I said, I don't know. Maybe people are seeing something that we don't know. So, Fanta, I want to say thank you to you. I want to appreciate you. And our doors are open. Whether or not I'm on here or, you can, this is your home. This is our platform. Yeah, come here anytime. You have something about CMC, outside of CMC, about our country, you are more than free at any time to come here and contribute to society. We need you. Labra needs you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We need the people of Liberia, those communities who have been deprived services for so long. Stand up, wake up, stand up and fight for yourself, because these are bullies and they will continue to bully you until you stand up and defend yourself. And our parents always taught us, right? When you go to school and somebody steal your lunch, what do? You stay and fight them. Like, otherwise they will continue to steal your lunch. Come on.
All right, Fanta, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you again. Babuya, thank you.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving up here and the parents from there. So welcome and life with African.
I lyrical
Master.
Le pali suo me kanyo ake aske TV benyo. Se ma cheni tina ke ase ma jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enji lofa emu aye yo.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the Lofa and Grand Bazaar.
Ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale.